Hi, I'm Jewell Siebert, and today we're talking about a really great tool that can help you make the next 12 months even better than the last. So anytime we start a new year or a new month or any new project, we greatly increase our chances of success if we pause for a moment and take a look back at what happened in the past. Now, you and I both know I'm not a fan of beating ourselves up about past mistakes. And this is not at all what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is an objective assessment on what's working and what isn't working. And what do you know? Someone else has already done the work for us. In the Army, we use a tool called the After Action Review. So every time folks do a training event in the Army, they stop and say, okay, what was supposed to happen? It's a formal process. So what did we want to happen? What actually happened? What went right? What went well? Or what didn't go well? And what are we going to do in the future? So I have taken this process and turned it into a tool to use in our normal everyday lives. And I want to share that process with you because I found that it's been super helpful for me, and I've had a lot of insights, and it works. Okay, so you can do it and see for yourself. Now, if you want a worksheet that goes with it, a worksheet that you just fill in, all the questions are there for you. Check out the link below. You just go in and download it. Super easy. And I'm just going to talk you through it right here too. So step number 1 is to look at what you wanted to happen. What goals did you have? What did you want to accomplish? And when I do this for myself, I look at 4 different areas. First is family and relationships. So family and friends, 2 is career and finances. 3 is self-care. I just started to forget. Self-care. And why do I include self-care? Because it's so important. Because if you don't pay attention to self-care, which chances are we're so focused on helping everybody else that a lot of times we neglect ourselves, right? But if you're running on empty, then you have nothing of yourself to give to all those people in your life that you love. So I absolutely always focus on self-care. And maybe it's doing something nice for yourself. What helps you to regroup and refuel? And 4, I put other, because sometimes there are things that don't fit neatly into a category, but I still want to account for them. Step number 2 is what actually happened. Yeah, because they don't always match, right? Step number 3 is what wins did you have? Now, here, this is important. So you might not have reached the end state, right? You might not have, collected 25 ducks, but maybe you got 3, right? So even the little wins count. You wanna acknowledge the little wins that you had. Like for me, last year I wanted to have 2 speaking engagements per month. Did I? No. But when I did my worksheet, I listed the ones that I did have, because it's really important that we acknowledge ourselves for the wins we do have, even if we feel like they're insignificant, because they're not. Every win you have counts, even if it's not big in your eyes. So that was step 3. Step number 4, what didn't go as planned? So we celebrated our wins. We'll celebrate no, we won't celebrate. We'll acknowledge the hiccups that we had. You know what? Okay, where did we fall short? Step number 5 is looking at our success impactors. Now, this is the most important step of the whole process. So first, you look at the actions that you took or didn't take that helped you reach your goals. Then you look at the actions that you took or didn't take that kept you from reaching your goals. Now, again, we want to be completely honest. You might want to take a couple minutes and really think about this. But you want to do an honest assessment and say, was I being afraid to talk to someone? Was I being nervous about asking for help? Was I being stubborn? These are all things that came up for me. But you look at these things, and again, it's not about blaming or feeling guilty. Like, that's not the point. The point is to get an accurate assessment. And if you start getting triggered by these things, because I started getting triggered, like when I was doing it, I thought, oh God, I screwed up so much. Start tapping, okay? Just start tapping on it. It's fine. It'll clear out. Take a few deep breaths. Yeah, do we screw up? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, because that's why we're doing this, so we don't make the same mistakes in the future. So step 6, that's a 1. Step 6 is to look at your future vision. What do you want this upcoming block of time to look like? And okay, so you've been writing, you've been making lists of everything and trying not to beat yourself up. So sometimes I find it's hard to get into this headspace. Like, what do I want my future to look like, my ideal future? I can't even think about that right now. I'm just stressing out about how badly I screwed up, right? So what I do is I take a moment, close my eyes, just breathe and say, okay, I'm feeling super happy right now. And I imagine myself feeling happy. And when I'm imagining that, then I imagine, okay, let's take a look around. I'm feeling super happy. What's going on with my family and my relationships that's making me feel so happy? What's going on in my career that's making me feel so happy? What's going on in my life that's making me feel this way? And I find that that's a really easy way to tap into those details. And then step number 7, maximize and minimize. What actual steps can you do more of or do less of or change in order to get that vision that you just created for yourself? Now, obviously it's easy to say, what I want to increase. But let's look at the minimize part for just a second. If you're going to remove something, you can't just remove it. You need to replace it with something positive. So if you're removing something on your minimize column, put something to counter it in your maximize column. And here's why. I just had a really great lesson from Mary Morrissey the other day, who was talking to my mastermind group. And she said, you can't just remove something from your life. You can't just remove a negative thought or a negative behavior. You have to replace it with something else, because there is this void that exists. You can't just not have something. And it makes sense, because if I tell you, okay, think of a cheetah chasing a rabbit, okay? Now, remove the thought of a cheetah chasing the rabbit from your brain. Go ahead. No, but for real, you're still thinking of a cheetah chasing a rabbit, right? But if I tell you, instead of thinking of a cheetah chasing a rabbit, think of a rabbit in a bubble bath. What are you thinking of now? The rabbit in a bubble bath, right? So it's much easier to replace something that you don't want with something that you do want. Voila. What did you want to happen? What happened? What were your wins? What didn't go as planned? What are your success impactors? What are your vision for the future? And how can you maximize and minimize? And like I said, I have a worksheet that you can download below. You don't have to do your email or anything. You just click on it and get it. And I've done it. And it's been very insightful. And here's the other really cool thing about it, is that once you do it, once you take the time to sit down and think about these things, the process doesn't stop there. Because I think you're going to find what I have found is that maybe a few minutes later, a few hours later, a few days later, ideas will still be popping into your head on things you could do differently, different changes you could make. Because it happened to me today in the shower. I was just scrubbing my hair, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, here's a different thing I could do. And it's perfect. Do you know why that happens? It's because our brain is a problem-solving organism or entity, whatever you want to call it. Its job is to solve problems. So you give it this problem, this worksheet you make, or this assessment you do, and it's going to keep thinking of ways to solve this problem, even when you're not focused on it. And it'll just come to you in these random quiet moments of, doing other stuff. So that's that. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you here. Please do it. And you'll get more videos like this from me as I make them. Okay, so until next time, have a great day. Bye.